Hey guys, welcome back to the checkpoint for another No Man's Sky video. Today we're going to be discussing the use of virtual reality in No Man's Sky, whether or not VR will make the final cut of the game, and if it'd be a good idea for a VR element to be put into the game. So, unless you've been living under a rock for the past few years, you'll know that VR is one of the biggest steps in the evolution of gaming since probably the leap from 2D to 3D. It's very early in its development, and some apps and games for VR are still a little buggy and it's difficult to work out, but the groundwork is definitely there. One of the main promises of VR technology is full immersion. Since you wear a headset, your whole perspective is the game. There's no TV, no monitor blocking you and the in-game world, it's just you and the game environment. Imagine instead of playing a game, you are in the game. It's pretty cool, right? Of course, this is similar to No Man's Sky's core element of immersion as well. Hello Games haven't built just an open world, they've built an open universe that just needs to be explored, and one of the key elements of exploration is immersion. So the core of both VR and No Man's Sky match up perfectly, really. So, do I think virtual reality should be a feature within No Man's Sky? Yes and no. See, VR comes with a few issues, which are mainly because of its infant state at the minute. It's very early days for VR, so they might be ironed out by the time the platform is more developed, but as of right now, they are glaring problems. So first of all, the motion sickness. Because the screen is theoretically super close to your face, most people encounter motion sickness when playing VR-compatible titles, mostly because of the immense speed and different variables available when swinging your head around and looking everywhere when playing in virtual reality. And of course, No Man's Sky involves a lot of swimming, jumping, climbing, and flying, so there's no doubt that there will be an element of motion sickness when playing the game, which is obviously quite bad, because no one wants to play a game and feel sick and want to vomit afterwards. Secondly, there is a super big obstacle in the form of movement. So most VR games make use of a point and click movement system where you sort of jump from place to place instead of moving with an analog stick or a controller. So imagine just like having, let's say, a Wii remote and a virtual reality headset. You kind of point the Wii remote at the screen or in the general direction of the VR sensor and click where you want to go, and you'd kind of teleport over there. You can see this in VR Minecraft as well as some other titles, but I definitely don't think this would work with No Man's Sky because it's very jarring in terms of immersion, and it's very unlikely, you know, flying or using your jetpack will feel the same if you have to kind of point everywhere rather than driving everywhere. That's just me, it might be fixed in the final version. So in my opinion, these issues and problems with VR are a huge obstacle for No Man's Sky to overcome. I definitely think No Man's Sky and VR will be a thing in the future. There will be a marrying of the two, of No Man's Sky and VR. But as of right now, I don't see it happening. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad, just purely because of those issues, because I think it'd ruin the whole point of VR, because you'd feel very unimmersed, and I think it'd ruin the point of No Man's Sky because it'd again make you feel very unimmersed. So I'm rather glad that No Man's Sky and virtual reality isn't a thing right now, but I'm all open to virtual reality and No Man's Sky in the future when virtual reality is a bit more developed and a bit more of a stable platform. But what do you think? Should VR be a feature in No Man's Sky? Would you buy a VR headset for No Man's Sky? Let me know in the comment section down below, and for more content like this every week, make sure you subscribe to the channel. But for now, this has been Steve, that has been No Man's Sky, checkpoint complete.